One Piece. Yep, One Piece. That long anime that nobody can shut up about. One Piece is by far the best shonen anime out there that I have watched. But not all share the same views as I do. Let's remedy that, shall we? It's been running since 1999. There are 600 episodes, and counting at the time of writing, more than 10 feature film spin-offs, OVA episodes, video games, and it has been the most requested anime in the UK since Manga Entertainment launched their Twitter feed. One Piece is here, the biggest shonen anime franchise of them all, against which Naruto is but a mewling infant. Bleach is just a glint in the mangaka's eye. It came, it saw, and it conquered all that lay before it. And unless the last few years of constant whining were a collective April Fool's prank being played on Manga Entertainment, it's going to conquer here as well. Story: Monkey D. Luffy wants to be a pirate. No, he wants to be the best pirate of them all, sail the Grand Line, find the legendary One Piece treasure left behind by Gold Roger, and become the Pirate King. He's inspired in this by his mentor, red-haired Shanks, who saved his life when he was a child. He also ate the gum-gum fruit, a devil fruit which has given him stretchy rubber-limbed abilities, although at the cost of his ability to swim. You'd think this would be a fatal handicap in a pirate, but Luffy has set sail nevertheless, looking to gather the best crew on the high seas and venture forth onto the Grand Line. The first candidates for his crew include the mighty pirate hunter swordsman Roronoa Zoro, the skilled, pirate-hating thief Nami, the world's greatest liar Usopp, and the toughest chef around, Sanji. Animation. One Piece looks like an early Digipaint show, an anime accomplished wholly in the innards of a computer, and the stability of the image, absence of flicker, and print damage tends to support that. There are moments where the show can look a little too static and obviously digital, but on the other hand, there are moments where the animation really takes a walk on the wild side, bringing to mind the wackiness of Tex Avery cartoons and the like. This is a show where surprise can make people's eyeballs bug out of their sockets, and their jaws drop to the floor. Story: Dave Oppman. One Piece also has one of the best opening episodes of an anime series that I have seen, capitalizing on that wackiness, and opting to throw fans straight into the middle of the story, rather than offer any setup or backstory beyond that of the pre-credits intro. A cruise ship targeted by a bunch of oddball pirates, and into the fray comes floating a barrel containing our rubber-limbed protagonist. It's just replete with unexpected comic moments that induce bursts of laughter, one after the other. That sense of unexpected humor maintains, and even grows over the first few episodes in this collection. Luffy is our hero, Monkey D. Luffy and his ambition is to sail the Grand Line, find the fabled One Piece treasure, and become king of the pirates. To do that he needs a crew, and this first season of 26 episodes follows him on his recruitment drive, introducing the main characters in the show, and as the series unfolds, filling in the backstory of Luffy and his crew as well. It's a pretty interesting world, not only in terms of design, but in concept as well, where piracy is a career aspiration as well as a crime. Of course, despite its villainous overtones, Luffy is nothing if not honorable and heroic. There are certainly more villainous pirates than otherwise, though. There also exists the devil fruit, which bestow powers on those who consume them at the expense of the ability to swim. Luffy is the rubber man, but early on we meet a more infamous pirate with devil fruit powers, Buggy the clown whose limbs are detachable. The ultimate prize awaits the pirate who can conquer the Grand Line, and that is Luffy's aim. We're nowhere near that point in the story just yet, though. This is just the preliminaries. At first, the show is great stuff, well-paced, and full of that sense of humor, as Luffy recruits first the greatest swordsman Roronoa Zoro, and then Master Thief Nami. Zoro is a somewhat ridiculous character. Well, they all are except Nami, a man who fights with 3 swords, one clenched in his teeth, and who can sleep off being stabbed. That encompasses a short arc where Luffy and Zoro face a villainous Navy captain named Morgan, and his whiny son Helmeppo. Then it's the battle against Buggy the Clown, which results in them recruiting Nami. Again, a great mix of action and comedy. It's just that around episode 9, where they come to recruit Usopp, the traditional slow shonen pacing kicks in, and One Piece begins to lose steam. It's apparent at this point that One Piece is adhering pretty closely to the manga story, and indeed the manga pacing. The Usopp story is twice the length it needs to be, and really does begin to drag towards the end, with 5.5 episodes devoted to the story's climactic battle. Thankfully, we're not talking Naruto or Bleach slow, which could have a one-on-one fight stretched over several episodes, whereas each of these One Piece episodes has a different fight in it, but I did begin to sense that familiar tedium set in again. The same is true for the Sanji arc, with Luffy's ever-growing crew visiting a seagoing restaurant in search of a chef. Again, the initial episodes have a goodly amount of comedy to them, but once the villain shows up, it's a several-episode stretch of fighting that once again begins to feel tedious. In between these arcs are single-episode stories, an odd bit of nonsense on a deserted island, an essential bit of backstory for Luffy, and an unexpectedly moving backstory for Zoro. One Piece may be the biggest shonen anime franchise on the planet, but it is just another shonen anime, action-packed with go-getting heroes succeeding against all the odds through superior willpower, and shouting out the names of their special moves with abandon. There is that seen them all feeling that comes with it. But One Piece does something different with its sense of humor that makes it worth checking out, even if shows like Bleach and Naruto are wearing thin by this point. You might just fall in love with this one. My opinion, the plot itself, though fairly straightforward at first like I said, quickly evolves into something huge. Much of the beginning of the series is dedicated to forming the crew and letting you get to know the characters, though it's definitely never lacking in action, but once they reach the Grand Line, you're swept up in adventure after adventure and following some of the most fantastic story arcs you'll ever watch. The battles and fights are well paced, with the final boss fight almost always being completely epic. But even through the action, One Piece never quite loses its lighthearted, humorous edge. The episodes are sprinkled with plenty of funny moments, never too many and never too few. There's always a wonderful balance of action and humor. One Piece also has its fair share of heart-wrenching moments, which may take you by surprise. There are some extremely powerful scenes and episodes that kind of blindside you and leave you wondering when you became quite so emotionally attached to certain characters or other things. I've definitely found myself near tears or actually crying at more than one point. One Piece has it all: amazing characters, the never-ending yet never too over-the-top humor, exciting battles, fun adventures, heartbreaking moments with quick-to-follow touching moments. And underneath everything, there's always the theme of friendship and teamwork, of working to reach your dreams and helping those closest to you achieve theirs, of growing and maturing as a person and discovering the power within yourself to overcome obstacles of any sort, of just being there for the rest of your crew when they need you, of being nakama. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and liking the video.